Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. 30% of Americans who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.375%. APR 4.65%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate subject to change. Pay 2.13% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Now, what's that smell? Just like cornbread done too well. What you need, you know I got. So hands up, who wants to rock?
How you doing tonight, Metal Faithful? It is I, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich, and this is the Metal Hammer of Doom. Tonight, we are reviewing the new Eluveitie album entitled, all right, we all know this stuff. This is everyone's favorite part of the show. Watch me try to pronounce something European or whatever. Ategnatos. Ategnatos, the new Eluveitie album. Just came out a little ways back. We're getting around to it. It's folk metal, ladies and gentlemen. And here to help me do that, back on the podcast again, he had to run out on us last week. He's going to talk a little bit about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only disapproving dad, Mr. Jesse Starcher.
All right, Mark Radulich. It's been one hell of a week, man. Damn. So, I guess where to start.
You should start at the beginning, and then when you get to the end, stop.
Stop? Okay. It sounds like a good plan.
Elaborate and listen.
Hey, welcome back, fucking Robert Cooper. I mean, let's get that out of the way.
The prodigal
right now.
son has returned home. Real quick, I want to give Jesse his piece. I kind of wanted to get that bit of business done before we went into anything. But just real quick, where the hell have you been?
I've been working 60 hours a week on 40 hours of pay-ish at Lowe's. Yeah. So it's like, oh, and I got a girlfriend. That's nice. So that's where I've been, like, a lot.
You've managed to get a second date out of some broad. Good for you.
Oh, third, fourth, anal.
Terrific.
Is that
And
like
she's going to be
second base?
and
third
she's going to
base,
be listening to this. So that's going to be really fun.
Okay. Does she know you're telling everyone about your anal exploits?
Probably not, but it's pretty fucking funny. So
That's hilarious, dude.
yeah, but yeah, I've plenty of stories to tell. I discovered Ollie's.
Oh,
Wow,
good for you. Yay.
Yeah, her and I went on a date, and she showed it to me, and I spent $100 in comic books right there.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
You
entirely possible.
Yeah, that's a fucking stack, too, dude. You ain't walking out of Ollie's with $100 worth of comic books, like, just in one hand. I mean, that's a two-fister right there.
That's what
I
she said.
plopped it on the fucking counter because it amused me. I just went, and it made a crack, too, and the kid just kind of looked at me unamused. I was like, oh, I bought comic books.
So wait, hang on. Going back, so that's a two-fister. Is that more of a title of your sex tape, or that's what she said?
Both.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Jesse.
Also what she said.
State your business for the folks, please.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I had to get out of here last week. there was an emergency. My wife, in the middle of, right near the end of the podcast, she did the secret code, the 3 knock on the door. When there's an emergency, I've got to cut loose and I got to go upstairs figure out what's going on. So, Wednesday, the 15th of May, I lost my dad. It was pretty shocking because, number one, my dad was pretty healthy. I mean, aside from an addiction to coffee and smoking, he wasn't on any type of medication. He wasn't in any type of dire health in any way like that. So he had a heart attack. At least I haven't been told anything different. He had a heart attack and died pretty much while I was on this podcast. He was out camping and he just wasn't feeling well. Luckily, he was with my stepmom, but unfortunately for her, she had to watch everything go down, and she felt pretty fucking helpless. But one of the things I'm walking away with is that my dad loved to go camping, and that's what he was doing when he passed away. I've talked about my dad on this podcast a few times, and one of the things that I've mentioned is that my dad got me into classic rock music. Anytime we brought up classic rock, usually I mentioned, oh yeah, I remember listening to this with my dad, or this is something my dad would enjoy. So I think that if it wasn't for him showing me the fun aspects of like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, Tom Petty, I wouldn't be here today talking with you guys about metal, because I can remember sitting in his truck heading over. My dad and my mom were separated when I was 2, so I got to see him every other weekend. And a lot of times that involved, him coming to pick me up and me on the way to his house. I didn't have anything to do. Didn't have phones back then, but you did have tapes. You had your Walkman, and I don't know what the hell was happening. I don't know if I was just tired of the tape I was listening to, but I popped open his glove compartment on his old truck, and there was Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And I could probably say that was my introduction to actually enjoying and respecting rock and roll. So, rest in peace, Mike Starcher. It's been one hell of a week. It's been rough. So I'm glad to be back here, though, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. I really didn't. There's been a lot of fucking doubt in my mind that I could get back on the microphone and this quick. But things have been making it easy. Things have been easier, I should say, than I thought they would be. Luckily, I have my pals on here, my friends, and my family who have supported me going through this, and it's made it so much more easier to handle. Is probably the best way to say it. So, anyway, I do. I wish I could say I try to be committed to my podcast, but that was it's some shitty shit. I mean, when you get the knock on the door, and I was like, what my first thought was Caleb did something stupid. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, he's hanging upside down on the bed, and he's hit Colton in the head or something, and Mindy needs me up there. But no, it turned out to be something way more serious than that. So, anyway, thanks for letting me have my piece here. Like I said, I'm just glad to be back, and I'm ready to rock and roll. And I'm glad, on this show we got Robert Cooper back, so it's going to be a fun show.
Well, I'm glad to have you back, Jesse, and I'm sorry for your loss, obviously.
Appreciate that.
Glad to have Robert Cooper back. The gang is all here, and the band's back together. So, all right, now that my slow fucking computer has finally got where it needs to be, Eluveitie is a Swiss folk metal band from Switzerland. I
like meatballs.
IKEA's from Switzerland.
No, IKEA's from Sweden.
Damn it.
This is Albert Schweitzer. Get it?
Is that the guy that coached the Cowboys once?
I don't know. Ategnatos is the 8th full album by Swiss folk metal band Eluveitie. It was released on April 5th through Nuclear Blast Records. It's got a number of singles out. Rebirth, Ategnatos. In fact, Rebirth came out October 27, 2017.
Yeah, I'd actually read that they had retooled it for this album. So yeah, that one's been out for a while.
And there was the title track here, Ategnatos, which came out February 1st. Ambiramus.
A beer must be drank.
A beer must wreck.
Metaconia came out.
Metactonia?
The joke that'll never die.
That one came out March 15th, 2019. The Slumber, which was me before the CPAP machine, it came out April 11th, 2019. And then finally, Worship came out April 25th, 2019. So,
they just put on there because they were like, "Hey, cool, Randy Blythe."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Randy Blythe does guest vocals and narration for Worship, which I just mentioned. So anyway, Robert Cooper, what do you know about Eluveitie? Have you listened to him before? Are you familiar with the band?
I'm not wholly familiar with them as a whole. I used whole a lot there.
That was very redundant, and you said the same thing twice.
Holy hole.
I'm sorry. I'm used to working retail. I'm trying to get my brain back to making sentences besides, "Hey, do that, dumbass."
Hey, Cooper, get your shit together, okay? This is a professional podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I know where we pop our peas. So, the only real exposure I had to them was back in my I listen to everything as it comes out, let me write about metal days. Oh, to get back to there would be so nice. I listened to their album from 2012 that I can't really recall the name of. The only thing I really remember is that I really liked the folk elements of it, but it didn't really stand out. I felt like it was kind of a sort of a middle-of-the-road album. It was decent, but nothing really spectacular. So coming into this, it was nice to hear their sound, because the more I listened to it, the more I started realizing more of the melodic death metal elements that the band has. Which is very refreshing, because I didn't remember that. All I remembered was sort of the folk tinge that they had. So to hear some more mellow death, especially because I've not been listening to a ton of like metal. I've been listening to a lot of murder podcasts though, but like not as much metal as I should. So it was nice to kind of get my kick it back in gear and finally kind of really mow the lawn and listen to, and just kind of take it in, listen to some good metal.
Jesse, now I know you didn't listen to any of this shit before you started listening to the Metal Hammer of Doom, but since you've been exposed to this podcast, had you happen to have come upon them in the last few years, or is this your first time listening?
No, dude. When we did the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, it was the first time I was almost like, Ronnie Adams going like, okay, you're making shit up now. What the hell kind of name is this? So no, I've never heard these guys before, and this is the first time I've ever heard any of their music diving into this album. Even on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, we were just riffing on what we were seeing happen before us. I never had a chance to actually listen to what was going on.
So here are the boys in the band. You've got...
Oh, boy. Oh, please. I can't wait.
Chigrel Glansman.
Oh, no. Are you about to try and pronounce people's names?
And their instruments. So Chigrel Glansman is on vocals, mandola, and whistles. He plays the whistles. Mandola?
It's Mandola. It's the Mandola. What are you going to call it? The Mandola Bite or something?
Mandola.
That's really? The Mandola effect.
I don't think that's how you spell Mandola, but okay. Fabian Ernie on vocals and the Celtic Hop. Matteo Sisti on the bagpipes, the Julian pipes, more whistles, and the Bodurhan. Bodurhan.
What? The fucking what?
Bodhra with a thing on it, N.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
The Bach is an Irish frame drum ranging from 25 to 65 centimeters in diameter, with most drums measuring... Did you say like your dick?
Like my dick.
Terrific. The sides of the drum are 9 to 20 centimeters deep. A goat skin Well, we're going to be done with this podcast at about 1 in the morning. A goatskin head is tacked to one side. The other side is open-ended for one hand to be placed against the inside of the drum head. Terrific. Nice. Well, the next one's even better, though. Michelina Malise plays the hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy. Hurdy-gurdy.
You know what a hurdy-gurdy is, Jesse?
Never heard of it.
A hurdy-gurdy is a stringed instrument that produces sound by a hand-cranked turn, rosined wheel rubbing against the strings. The wheel functions much like a violin bow, and single notes played on the instrument sound similar to those of a violin. Melodies are played on a keyboard that is also attached to the instrument. So that's a hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy.
Hurdy-gurdy. Flugen. Nicole Ansberger plays a fiddle. Kay Brem plays the bass. Jonas Wolf is on rhythm guitar and resonator guitar. Raphael Seisman is on lead guitar. And Alan Ackerman plays the drums and percussion.
All right.
And so we have some guests besides Randy Blythe. We've got Cohen Struken. We've got Rebecca Fee. Sandrin Kindler Chanson on the violin. Ann Yeager on the cello. Alexander Morton does narration for track 1, 3, and 14. And finally, Mary Tadecki.
Okay.
Alan Taduke is on narration for track 12. All right, are we ready to do this?
Woo! I think our audience is.
That's a lie.
All right. So we're gonna hear the title track first. That's Ategnatos. And then I'm gonna play actually 4 tracks here because one of them is only 11 seconds long. So there's Ategnatos, Ankus, Deathwalker, and Blackwater Dawn. Are you guys ready?
Hit it, Johnny.
Hit it, Johnny. That's right. Okay. I've forgotten how to do this podcast.
Flip it, smack it, rub it down.
Oh, no. Next table. Remember that?
Nope.
No. Ugh.
Not 80.
We're going to be here till 1 with you explaining every reference.
Nope. I'm not even... I'm just no.
Moving on.
All right, folks.
Gurdy.
Here we go.
Damn it.
O bright sun of the night, I lift my eyes up to thee. O ye amber golden light, let the dark sweep over me. Mighty cauldron, O Nidus, I surrender all to thee. Panacea nothingness, when nothing is left.
Tables, grabs,
Ancus effi, trato in mitiei, siro pivotutos.
Alright, so that was Ategnatos, Ancus, Deathwalker, and Blackwater Dawn. So one of the things that stand out for me right off the top is that the duet of the clean female vocals against the death metal growl male vocals, I think works in perfect harmony.
Oh yeah, that's one of the big things that I love, and some of my metal anymore is clean and harsh at the, in the same song, and they do it very well. I mean, my gosh, I had no idea what I was getting into with this band, and these first 4 tracks that we just listened to really made me go, okay, this album has a lot of promise. 16 tracks on this thing. I'm like, they can't keep this up. There's no way. But
Well, there's some bullshit on here.
Well, I mean, are you not a fan of like the interludes, or what do you mean by bullshit?
Are you not entertained?
I could use this album could use some editing. I mean, look, Deathwalker was fucking phenomenal. So far, that's like one of my favorite ones. Though, you know, when we get to Mine is the Fury, it's gonna be a pants off dance off.
Oh yeah, dude, that is. I like it when my notes match up with yours. So, yeah, Blackwater Dawn, I think was one of the ones that, you know, the folk element really stuck out to me, because it seems like, you know, you get this real some heavy metal, and then all of a sudden it just turns into like this folk jig in the middle of the song.
I was gonna say there are some very, 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 very strong folk elements in this album.
Yeah, and I don't know how many songs on this album start out with the old atmosphere, you know, like the wind's blowing and the rain's kind of going, and then you know, we start in with the whistles and all that. But hey, man, first 4 tracks, I'm down for this band, so you know, I'm excited.
This album funks the flavin'.
Oh yeah, I've funked my flavin' all over the place.
What do you say,
Oh no, that sounds highly unappetizing and slightly salty.
It's salty.
Oh boy, I needed something on these fries.
There's a girl I work with who was eating almonds, and because it's one part I'm a fat bastard, and 2 I just got it like that, I just reached in and started grabbing on her nuts.
Oh, whoa!
And so we went through a whole bit where we were talking about me putting her salty nuts in my mouth in front of another nurse who understood we were joking, but was like,
uncomfortable at the same time.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Go ahead, Coop. I cut you off.
Oh, it's fun. I love hearing things that make me be like, God, thank God HR isn't here.
I straight up told the charge nurse in front of like the boss, in front of like the big boss at our building, to go fuck herself. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I've learned that my habit of when I'm nervous, laughing pisses my boss lady off because she thinks I'm not being serious, which I'm like, no, I'm so serious that I'm nervous. But yeah, these first 4 tracks, I think it really highlights what this album does well. The folk elements in it are very strong. The kind of the mix of the death growls with the clean vocals is spot on. I will say, I don't know which track it is, but there's one of these tracks we played that had a very strong, almost a metalcore vibe to it, that I don't feel really. It didn't really.
I was going to say, I think it's Deathwalker you're talking about, because it's the one I really liked.
Probably was. Because, well, no, I'm not saying that as much of a. I don't use that as much of a criticism, as I just feel stylistically it doesn't really stick with what a lot of the rest of the album does. You know, when I started hearing the flute and the drums, and then the guitar would occasionally come in, I'm like, cool. Let's get this. I was like,
you're not wrong. There are some songs on here that sort of depart from the traditional folk metal sound, but again, that makes it not samey. So, and I like those songs, so I'll take it.
That's true. I actually, honestly, really like the first track. Really sounded very reminiscent of early At the Gates for me. So that was cool. I really like when they do more of the melodic death metal sort of sound. I admit I'm a little behind on my metal, so hearing melodic death metal is a welcome change to. I've kind of just been. A lot of times when I'm just sitting around, I'll go back to some of my favorites, which is more your progressive, like, you know, your Name Will Scaris, Orphan Land. You know, not as much of your fucking Amon Amarth, At the Gates and whatnot, or Children of Bodom. So. Yeah, album was.
I was just gonna say, Children of Bodom. That most recent album, I was kind of hoping you could make that on, Coop, because it was good. I liked it.
I listened to parts of it. I really liked what I heard. I just never finished. I have this bad habit of listening to 2 songs at work and being like, I'm gonna finish this later, and then I'm there till 2 a.m. every day. It's kind of a problem, but they had a good one. Actually, Kalma had a new one, I think, either this year or late last year, that I really enjoyed.
All right,
love me some Kalma.
Yeah, Kalma's pretty good. All right, let's Wow, we
Go
are
ahead.
stepping.
I was going to make an Oxford comma joke, but it was bad. It was really bad.
So you said that. So you're telling me that you had some pause on your comma joke. I saved it. I saved it.
He did.
You can tell we haven't. You can tell we haven't all podcasted together in a while because we are stepping all over each other, like more than normal. More than normal.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not like there've been some times where I'm like, you know what? I'll be good. Like I can make it to the podcast, fall asleep at 7:00. Well, fuck.
Dude, the fucking last podcast you were on, you fell asleep. Remember, you like slept through I think 60% of the podcast. We thought we lost you, and it turns out you were actually sleeping on the pod.
Yeah, you pulled a me.
If you actually listen, you could hear the sound of me lightly snoring.
All right. Like, speaking of lightly snoring, let's go to the next. We're gonna do 4 actually. I think I said we were gonna do 3, but because of some of the horse shit on here, we got to do 4 tracks to make it really worth my willed
shit. Horse shit.
Jesse Starcher.
Whatever, man. Hit your 4.
So we're gonna do A Cry in the Wilderness, The Raven Hill, The Silver Glow, and Ambaramus.
These nuts.
Terrific.
It's a Godzilla monster. The Ambaramus.
Oh, it's Rodan and Mothra and Ambaramus. that's enough of that.
That's enough for that bullshit.
No, I really like that. That and Raven Hill, fucking. I mean, Quarry in the Wilderness was fine. I really liked the Raven Hill, even when it slowed down. And then the Abaramus, I believe is what she said it was. The Abaramus.
The ignoramus.
I used to play with an Abaramus when I was in school. I would learn to count on it. Oh wait, that's an abacus. Jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
We don't have any. Yeah, the Ravenhill is the one. Yeah, I think you pointed out. I was like, oh yeah, that's. After I heard it, I was like, this has got to be the one Mark was talking about earlier.
Jesse.
Yeah.
This country's full of retards.
Uh huh.
Do you want to?
I'm not going to argue.
I mean, again, I can attest. I work retail. We hire seasonal labor. Well, let's put it like this: like 90% of the people we hired are all gone because they're a bunch of fucking fuckwits.
Idiots. Yeah.
So you want to know why specifically I'm pointing that out right now?
Please tell me.
Well, I said that I made the abacus joke, but it reminded me that there was a poll out there that like a high percentage of Americans don't think we should teach Arabic numbers because fuck the Arabs.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh my
god. Now, Coop, why don't you spend a few minutes and explain why, as you put it, these people are fuckwits?
Oh the people we've hired?
No, the people who think we should stop teaching Arabic numbers.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of like the entire numbering system that we use. Like, yeah, that would be like, fuck, you know what, guys, we're just going to go straight to Roman numerals. Like, that's pretty much the only other fucking option we have, you bunch of fucking dunderheads. Like, it's fucking silly. Like, I remember it reminds me of when I was in 6th grade and this fucker asked me if I was a homo sapien, and I said, no, I don't like boys. Like, I mean, I was in 6th fucking grade, and this kid was a smug son of a bitch. So of course I looked like an ignoramus, but no, it's kind of I feel like it's the world we live in nowadays, where reality is more or less whatever you surround yourself with, and if it's an echo chamber, by God damn it, that's exactly how the world works.
Yeah.
Well, like my best friend and I, Nick, who I still need to get on this podcast.
Hey, that
take a drink.
Yep, that's right. I was actually talking to him the other night, and I was like, it's really interesting. The society that we live in, we have the access to more information than we ever have in the history of the world, yet you can tailor it so much to where it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I can even say the same thing. There's a lot of stuff that I don't really know about because I don't read the news. I know more about what's going on in professional wrestling and fucking anime than I do in the world some days because that's what interests me. But quite frankly, like, I just feel like the fact that information is just so easily gotten now kind of stifles the people's curiosity in a way. Like, nobody's really seeks the information out because it's like, yeah, I can just fucking find it anytime. Like fucking Arabic numbers.
How do we have access to so much information, yet we continue to grow more ignorant as time goes by?
Well, and the interesting thing is
I gotta play off of that real quick. So I was training a female worker today, and
that's in her mouth.
No, this is not the girl whose nuts I put in my mouth. This is a different girl. And so we had kind of a break in work, so we were just kind of bullshitting, chit-chatting, and she asked me a question about Avengers. Have you seen it yet, Rob?
Oh, fuck, I saw it like fucking the second day it was out. Okay.
So she was like, what did you think of Captain America picking up the hammer? And I'm like, oh, well, it was fantastic. It was a moment that fans had been waiting for. She was like, don't you think Captain Marvel should have picked it up?
Yeah, well,
because we were so invested in that character for all 20 fucking movies.
And what's funny? It's like I want to enjoy the Captain Marvel character, but I feel like it's like a ham sandwich that they've been fucking putting in front of me, being like, guys, is the best ham sandwich. This ham sandwich is fucking fantastic. It is the best ham sandwich. Look, a woman made it. It's such a good ham sandwich. So when I finally fucking eat it, I'm like, fucking ham sandwich. They're like, but a woman made it. Isn't it great? It's one of those. It's like I feel like she's.
Did somebody tell her to get to the kitchen to make the sandwich?
No,
that's wrong.
Oh, Jesse. Very funny. But so here's the thing. She's not like an uber feminist or anything like that. That's a whole other different girl and a whole other separate set of stories. But by the way, if you put more than one Game of Thrones finale meme on your Facebook page per day, you shouldn't get to have Facebook anymore. Let me just put that out there.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I really want to love Game of Thrones in a way, but no, I'm good. Like, I got so tired of hearing about it.
Yeah,
when it's on my
that.
morning news, I am like, all right, motherfuckers, like, you are done. I'm done with this, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So back to this chick, right? So it was an innocent question. She has no context. She doesn't read the comic books. She's not a fan. She's just seen the movies because I think her husband took her. You know, she's one of them gals. So like, I didn't get like offended by it or anything. But and really, why would I? But when she was like, "Don't you think Captain Marvel should fit that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then every male in the theater would have burned the theater down and any other one they could find. There's no, and I'm like, look, like the whole wielding the hammer thing was straight out of the comics. Captain Marvel never held the hammer. She doesn't even come close. So while I get your point that if all you have is the films and she's so overpowered, why wouldn't she be able to hold the hammer? I'm like, that's not her character. She's never done it. There's no reason to do it. It doesn't resonate with the fans. And oh, by the way, most males hate that character.
Can we just call Chris Bailey and Chris Sheehan right now? Let's get them on this fucking podcast. We'll talk about it.
Like, I'm not gonna lie,
Jesse,
like,
Chris Sheehan, and who's the other one?
Chris Bailey.
There we go.
Three times.
That's right.
like I'm gonna say, like, when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, that was all right. But like after I saw Endgame, I'm like, she's just all right, guys. Like, I really felt like, and Mr. Nick will agree, that the acting was pretty shit in that movie. And I didn't think Brie Larson was I didn't feel like she was very believable as kind of that snarky like, you know, the snarky Marvel cinematic personality they give everybody. No, she didn't deliver that shit at all, and it didn't fit the character they were making either. I was like, sorry, no.
I feel like, I think I said at the time that it was a very first phase movie, and that I think she needs some time to grow into the character. I mean, look, the first Captain America didn't exactly. I mean, people look back on that now with rose-colored glasses.
Oh,
but
rose-colored roses, yeah.
Is that what color they are? Okay.
They look back on Captain America now. It's like, oh my God, all his movies were amazing. But it really wasn't until The Winter Soldier where people were like, "Fuck, Captain America is awesome." Like, I don't think his movie made tons of money. The first Avenger. Anyway, so yeah, I liked Abaramus. That was one where you had mostly like the female vocals. It's one of the shorter songs on here. Fucking awesome. Ravenhill, also very good. Just quick, let's go around the horn. Jesse, anything else about these previous four?
Yeah, I'll talk about A Cry in the Wilderness. Really, the only thing that one doesn't stick out like as one of the better ones of those four, but it's still not bad. I mean, I think once that, it's hard not to bob my head when I'm hearing this folk music kick in. You know, and that is one that I was like, okay, what am I going to say about this? And that was the note. Like,
the blend of traditional heavy metal and traditional folk metal in this is fucking phenomenal. It's one of the best. It's one of the best I've heard.
Yeah, I'll agree with you 100% there. I mean, I can think of off the top of my head a few other albums that we listened to, but I don't think any of them really set the tone and do as good of a job as Eluveitie does. So. But anyway,
weirdly enough, it tends to keep with the straight traditional folk metal, and it doesn't necessarily go to the hoompa. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Corporal Kalani. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coop. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not they're not resting on the gimmick of Hoompa. They're actually doing like traditional Celtic music infused with heavy metal. I like the word infused now because I watch a lot of I watch a lot of marijuana cooking shows these days.
Yeah, you need to use lean into here in a few minutes. Just keep that in your back pocket.
I'm sorry, Coop. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I got a fucking bug on my bed. All these cats, and I got a firefly on my bed.
The hell them cats doing?
Well, one of them has 3 legs. She has an excuse. And I just noticed, I was like, what type of bug is this? And I see the butts kind of glowing. I'm like, ooh, firefly.
You need to get your pussy in line.
Steve, get your ass over here. I have a cat named Steve. We know this.
Paul! His name is Paul. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, who names a cat Paul? Steve, get the bug. Steve, get the bug. Fucking stupid cat. Anywho, he never got the bug. So the interesting thing that I find this band is doing is that they're really doing a good job of integrating the two sounds together. I don't feel like it's like folk music and somebody threw a little bit of metal. It's not like, rap music and somebody threw a little bit of metal. Limp Bizkit, which my girlfriend really loves Limp Bizkit, by the way.
Oh, you should direct her to the Metal Hammer of Doom episode where we reviewed the best of Limp Bizkit. Okay.
Like 2 days into talking to her, I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, here's a fucking 2.5 hours of me shitting on one of your favorite bands. She loved it.
Terrific.
Oh yeah, she enjoys my bullshit. It's very refreshing. But yeah, I feel like this band does a really good job of integrating both sides. And like, I love Corporate Connie, for example, but the songs and albums that they do really well is when they manage to meld the two together. And I don't feel like they're really just leaning really hard into the like, hey guys, it's fucking it's the Oompa Loompa folk music with a little bit of metal. We talk about beer and lots of beer.
Yeah, Corporate Connie's fun, but they're fun because they're gimmicky. Like, I wouldn't call this gimmicky. All right, these next 4. First of all, Mine is the Fury is my favorite song off of here. This thing is hot fucking fire. Then we got The Slumber, Worship, and then we're gonna take a break with Trinaction. So here we go. You guys ready?
Hit it, Johnny.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mine is the Fury.
Of the other one on this deep road, paved
Ategnatos and Samoni, Sindio.
Alrighty. You want to kick us off?
Boo. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan Davis.
I got into the old folk, so sorry about that.
Let's kick it off, Robert. What did you think of those last 4 tracks?
I thought they were really good. Well, I wouldn't say really good. They weren't. I didn't think they were all bangers. I thought the inclusion of Randy Blythe as narrator / guy who does growly things was nice.
What do you want to do with your life, growly things?
You'll be nothing.
You know what's funny though? Did I tell you when I went and saw Slayer? Lamb of God was like right before them, and my fucking uncle and cousins walked off right before Laid to Rest. So I was like, guys, where'd you go? So I went to go find them, and I'm like, why'd y'all walk off during their best song? They're like, oh, do you want to hear that song? I'm like, yeah, I don't care about you having to buy beer.
Oh, wow.
You tell them, Coop.
Oh, yeah, I didn't care. Even though this year, like, I got to put in for some fucking time off. Ozzy and Megadeth are coming to Charlotte.
Not this year.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
no, that whole tour got postponed until next year.
Did it really? Where have I been?
Yeah.
Because I remember Nick sent me something about him. He wasn't in good health, but I didn't know exactly.
When he initially wasn't in good health, they postponed the tour till 2020, and then he got better.
He got better.
Yeah, I got tickets for that for my birthday. They were actually supposed to play on my birthday, and now they're not. Goddamn.
That sucks.
Damn it.
Yeah, that sucks some donger. Yep, postponing them. Oh, that fucking sucks.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna double. Now you got me curious because I got an alert today. Like, oh, your concert's coming up, and I'm like, no, the fuck it isn't. No, it isn't.
I mean, oh yeah, this was holy shit. This was fucking. Is this fucking February is when they announced that? Yeah, because he had pneumonia.
All right, so I'm on the Ticketmaster app. Let's see what there is to see here. Yep. Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater here in Florida, May 31st, 2020. You bastards.
Donkey Dong. But Iron Maiden will be here in July, so I can go see them.
You want to know when the one in Charlotte is?
Sure.
June 2nd next year. On my birthday.
Cool. I'll make sure I put in for that.
Yeah. Do it a year in advance. It'll be fine.
Oh.
Maybe
yeah.
Ozzy won't die.
Yeah, that'd be mighty awkward. It'd be like, shit.
I don't even. That's the thing. Like, I just wanted to go see Megadeth live, dude. Do you remember when I didn't give a shit about Megadeth? Now I bought these tickets to see Megadeth. How about that?
Nice.
You're welcome.
Their new album is supposed to drop this year, right?
So at some point, yeah.
Taking a look to see when.
Yeah. I just remember Margaret's like, I don't give a shit about Megadeth. They're just all right. And then I made him listen to fucking every album in like one go.
Yeah, he wore me down like a rape victim.
Oh, jeez. That got dark.
It's the old Stockholm syndrome.
Speaking of dark, Jesse, what'd you think of these last couple of songs?
Oh, well, I shall agree with you, sir. Minus a Fury is heavy as shit. I had XDO written down here as, like, for some reason that some of the guitar work reminded me of XDO, and some of the vocals almost made me lean that way, too. But I looked it up, and it turns out XDO back in 2012 like mentioned Eluveitie in their one of their Facebook posts, and it wasn't very favorable. So I doubt it was anything to do with XDO.
Hey, have you heard from Angry Metal Guy on this album?
Oh, I've got him right here. He gave this fucking thing a 2.5 out of 5.
Fuck that guy.
I disagree, but I'll give you, he broke it down here, like, when it comes to the tracks here. He says, the 9 tracks between A Cry in the Wilderness and Rebirth scuffles through half of an hour of tempered folk and mellow dreck that's littered with a who's meh of influences. Modern thrash turned Lamb of God ripoff worship, complete with overwrought biblical passages spoken by Randy Blythe. Lame. Threefold Death and its soilwork riffery. So. Amber Amos squanders a good whistle melody on a glorified pop single, while Minus the Fury is plain old stock mellow. What the hell does that mean?
I think he had a stroke in the middle of writing that.
I will say I did notice the biblical shit, and I'm like, none of this is about biblical shit, Randy. It's
I watched the video.
It's
if
just
you
like
watch
Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, if you watch the video of Worship, it's pretty dark. It's like it does kind of, it invokes some biblical elements, like there's a cardinal, but he looks like a fucking zombie, but again, I didn't take it as, I actually like that song. I thought Worship was pretty decent. All this shit's still heavy as hell, in my opinion. Minus Jury definitely. And even the Slumber, it's slower paced, but we got some powerful vocals in that, and I still think it's decently heavy. So go ahead, Coop.
I don't know. I was just gonna say it's just like my uncle at Thanksgiving, just bringing up Jesus all the time. It's like, guys, we're talking about turkey. I didn't bring up Jesus.
Terrific.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Part of me is I am kind of wondering though, like if I need to get back on the horse, because I know like a lot of these albums, like once you listen to fucking like 300, 400, 500 albums a year, shit starts to really melt. Like it's a lot of times it gets to the point.
I listen
where
to one album a week and it all starts to run together after a while. Who are you kidding?
Well, yeah. But I'm thinking, like, like for this guy who fucking reviews it all the time, like it does probably get hard to stand out.
Well, okay,
title of your sex tape.
Would you? Okay, Coop. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll read you his.
Really? Nothing?
I'll read you real quick some of his top albums from 2018, and see if you recognize any of them that he's talking about here. We actually talked about this a couple weeks back there, Mark. But here you go. One of them from November of 2018. The name of the band is 1914.
Wow.
Okay. I believe that's the name of the band. All right. Then we have, make sure I've got that right. Yeah, okay. Anyway. All right. Next one. Record of the month for October 2018, Go Rod.
Yeah.
I know of them.
Title of your sex tape.
September of 2000.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yes. September of 2018, Satan.
Fucking love Satan, man.
Okay.
Satan is real.
Satan is real. And then we have August of 2018, which is, jeez, criminy. Why can't I fucking figure out what the hell that, Mongrel's Cross?
Not heard of them.
That's
okay.
racist.
So, he's picking stuff out that we would barely even touch on, if not here I am, Mr. fucking casual metal guy over here, and I hear names like Go Rod and fucking, whatever the hell I just said, something Cross. No clue. No clue.
I mean, yeah, I did a lot of the same stuff. Like a lot of what I'd like to do is start digging in and finding stuff that's not on the beaten path, just because you're looking for something different.
Let me find the most obscure shit possible, and that's what we're going with.
Well, yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things to do was when I'd look to see if it was like, it's a folk metal band, like that right there is usually going to offer you something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd have certain things that I'd look for, but a lot of times you kind of look for, all right, what else do they offer? Are they a new band?
Well,
what are other reviews? Like,
well, I mean,
really,
that's why we're reviewing Glory Hammer later this year, because I didn't know what that was, but I loved the title. I thought Glory Hammer was the best thing ever, and then I realized that it was an Ailstorm side project. Then I'm like, okay, winner, chicken dinner.
That's already got a thumbs up.
I was singing Wooden Leg the other day.
Nice.
Somebody posted the video for Mexico on their Facebook page, and I was like, "Oh, no love to fuck with an anchor."
Fuck.
But yeah, so like that's. Well, yeah, when I used to write, I would do the same thing. Like, because if all you're doing is covering, especially if you're doing it kind of, I'm not gonna say professionally, but consistently, like, just the same names are gonna start kind of wearing on you. It's cool to find new stuff. Like, it's really fun. One of the random things I found when looking at my Spotify last year was a band from 2012 called, I think, Cryptic Forest or something like that. And I was like, I only remember a few of these songs being good, but it was really cool to find them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, one of our best reviews we've ever done was not Quiet Riot.
Metal Church. Fucking Metal Church.
I was not on for that one.
Metal Church. Oh boy.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, you need to check out the new Sabaton tracks, because that's getting me excited for that album.
Like, it's on the schedule.
I'm excited for Sabaton, and Amon Amarth was fucking awesome. There's there's a band, I don't know if you ever heard of Nocturnus. They're from the 90s. They're a death metal band that use a lot of fucking synthesizer. They're fucking awesome.
I'll take that.
Right,
they have a new album, their first new album coming out in like fucking 15, 20 years.
All right, we have 4 songs left in the CPAP's Calling, so let's do this.
What does it say? Does it say...
Mark.
It says, hey, remember when you used to pass out at your desk? You want to stop that shit? Get to bed, fucko. All right, so these next 4 tracks are...
My permission to die, Mark.
We have Threefold Death, Breathe, Rebirth, and Eclipse. Here we go, baby dolls.
Will you remember me? Still know my name when I'm set free.
Is this the way it is the last thing to say? The bottom of faithful chaos, feeding the crowds, dangling up putrid
mighty cold and all hide us. I surrender all too deep, and I see nothingness when nothing is left.
These dreadful shades, dancing in my trembling sight and crying out these whole words. These trading soul in my scourging flesh, dying down amid this fucking place. My floating world infests my stride and cries in version of the void. No longer shame in the door, the distant noise.
Oh, but some of the night, lift my eyes up to thee. Holy and golden light, let the dark sweep over me. Mighty cold and all hide us. I surrender all too deep, and I see nothingness when nothing is left.
This was my rebirth.
Oh, bright sun of the night, I lift my eyes up to thee. Only amber golden light, let the dark sweep over me. Mighty cold all night does, I surrender all to thee, and I see nothingness when nothing is left. Oh, we fathomless night, I give myself up to thee, and when my time is nigh, let the silence swallow me. Sacred bosom, holy grove, I offer thee myself, and I shall rejoice when nothing is left. Oh, bright sun of the night.
That's enough of that.
This album needs editing.
Yeah, and right there, that's what Mark's gonna do. He's gonna say, like, that's enough of that shit.
So I'm gonna give this a B plus.
I need my CPAP.
It would have gotten an A minus from me, but in all honesty, I feel like it's a little too long.
What did you say you gave it a B plus?
B plus. Because,
Okay.
And here's the thing: I might have actually stuck with the A minus I initially thought of, but then there was a little voice in my head that goes, "You don't have to give everything an A minus."
Yeah, motherfucker. Well, for a second there, I thought you went and said C plus, and I was like, "Whoa,
heard
that is not
plus, and I
fucking
was
Mark
like-
Radulich."
And I was like, ooh, that's a little, that's a
No,
little low for
I said B plus, sir.
Okay, all right, Mark
the
down.
B plus player.
Yes, sir. Well, Mark, damn it, I'm disagreeing 100%. I'm putting this at number 1 for the year right now.
You're out of your fucking mind.
What fucking beats it? Okay?
Everything. No.
Yeah, whatever.
What do I have as number one right
According
now?
to your scale, now here's the thing. I have no idea, Mark. Don't even ask.
God damn it.
I still haven't found the spreadsheet.
All right, well, hang on. I'm going to go tell the monks to go bring me my schedule.
Oh.
On this Getty Requiem, smashing the head.
I went and saw that in theaters the other day, actually.
The Holy Grail, really?
Yes. That was fun.
Wow.
All right. So, beginning with Soil Work, that's better than this.
Nope.
Papa Roach, no. A Pale Horse Named Death, no. See all the shit you missed,
Up the
Robert?
road.
We didn't do anything on the 6th? I wonder why.
Was that the fucking emo band that we decided not to do? Or
That might have been it. Okay, that might have been the reason why. Beast in Black, that's better than this.
Ah, no.
Avantasia, no. Dream Theater, no.
Beast in Black, nowhere near as heavy as this.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
Queensryche, no. Then again, we didn't do anything on the 13th either. Wow. Then I was away for a week. Motley Crue, The Dirt, yeah. The Dirt's better than this.
That movie any good?
Bring me the dirt.
Is that movie any good? Hell
yeah,
yes,
it's
that
awesome.
movie's good. It's actually really good.
I heard it was fun.
Yeah, it's all tits and cocaine.
Dude, within the first seconds of the credits, a girl squirting. Okay?
Children of Bodom, Overkill's better than this.
Overkill?
Oh yeah,
You're fucking bullshit, dude.
Dude, come on.
somebody left their cat out in the rain.
Welcome to the Garden State is the best song of the year.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, well, not one song does an album make, so
Okay. Battle Beast was better than this. Whitesnake was better than this.
I'm going number one, bro. You want to go with B+ and call them a bunch of B+ players?
I will.
You go right ahead. This album,
it needs editing. This album needs editing. This is a meandering pile of shit. Is what this is.
Oh, you're just going to some type of extreme. To
now you go in C+. You hear that?
That is bullshit. I think this has a lot of re-listen value for me. I wrote something out here. It says this one was surprising to me, one of the heavier albums we have listened to this year. You cannot deny this is heavier than Beast in Black, in my opinion.
I am immediately taking it off my playlist. So there.
Blending folk with metal into a juicy concoction that goes down easy. This is going to be top 3 for me. Nope, wait a second. Top 1, top spot of the year. Once I find
goes down easier than the school whore.
Gay.
How can that be gay?
Oh boy. All right, Coop, you're up, man. What's your thoughts?
I think this album has some really strong spots. It sort of melts down to samey in some aspects for me, but I really do like what they're bringing to the table. Some mellow death, a little bit of metalcore, and a whole lot of fucking flute. So,
yeah, buddy.
Oh, hell yeah. So for me, I'm going to give the album, just from where I'm sitting, probably a solid B. It's a good 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. I mean, granted, I'm not going to lie. Like, if I fucking do what I want to do and fucking put the shit in my vein and listen to 500 metal albums, this album's going to slide. I'm just going to guarantee you. Because I've realized, like, the more, like I said, the more you listen to, like, the bigger, like, the bigger your scale is going to get. So it's like, well, shit, if I call this a B, then I got to give this something different. I can't do that. Yeah, so right now it's a B. It's a good solid B. It's a listenable album. I don't know if on re-listens if it's going to necessarily hold up to that standard, but I mean, yeah, it was a good album to come back to the podcast on. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Next week is Next week is Sworn Enemy Game Changer. It'll be better. It'll be better than this because hardcore rhymes galore, like I said before. And then concluding our spring fling is a Legion Optopocalypse. Apoptosis. And then we kick off.
So I just looked at the Amon Amarth tour, by the way, that's going to be this fall.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking lit. It is fucking Amon Amarth, At the Gates, Arch Enemy, and Grand Magus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
oh, man, Grand Magus would be great to see.
Let's see. Who are they coming anywhere near you guys?
All right. Well, while you figure that out, let me quick go over the summer schedule here. Here's our summer schedule because even cancer can't keep me down.
Right, damn it.
Oakley, we kick things off with Simpson Band Extraordinaire, Oakley Dokley, Hadley Toodly. Then we go on to Deutschland with the Rammstein, self-titled Rammstein. Then Amon Amarth, hopefully Rob will join us for that and not be on a date or some shit. July 3rd, Upon a Burning Body. July 10th, the new Glory Hammer. July 17th, the Texas Hippie Coalition.
Oh, boy.
July 24th, Sabaton.
Oh, yes.
July 31st, L7, Scatter the Rats. Over the rats. Over the dishes.
Rats.
Jesse, get your battleship chains ready because August 7th is the new Volbeat.
Fucking Volbeat. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Featuring Neil, at one song featuring Neil Fallon. That's going to be insane, dude.
That's crazy, right?
Yep.
Well, it's good to see they're going to have 2 songs that sounds different this time instead of one that all sounds the same.
August 14th is the new Slipknot. August 21st is Thy Art is Murder. August 28th is Hammerfall.
Yay. Maybe. Well, actually, the last few Hammerfall albums have been really shitty, so let's hope.
So, and that takes us to September, which it's being written as we speak.
Very good.
Just real quick, just because I wanted to share this with you. So here's what I got lined up for October. October is his covers month. This year we're going to do the Pat Boone in a metal mood. You ever remember?
Yeah.
You ever hear that?
Say your prayers at one. Don't forget my son. Whoever it was.
Oh my God, Pat Boone's the best.
Light.
And then in celebration of the Joker movie, we're gonna do something a little off the beaten path here. We're gonna do the Batman Prince soundtrack.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
For that Joker movie. I haven't seen the trailer. I hope it's good.
Now, here's the thing. Are we going to run into rights issues with Spotify? That's not going to be on Spotify, is it?
I don't know. I put it on the calendar and didn't worry about that.
I don't know.
And then we've got Arch Enemy, which
Yeah.
came out earlier this year, Covered in Blood. It's actually a double album. That's going to be a really long show. Then we've got Weezer, the Teal album. And then either Danzig sings Elvis if it's out by then, or Danzig Skeleton. So depends on what's out by October 30th. So that's the covers albums we got lined up for this year. What do you think, Jesse?
Hey, that sounds terrific.
All right. In the meantime, in between time, we did our Damn You Hollywood review of John Wick 3, and Robert Winfrey and I managed to not strangle each other. It was fantastic.
What? Not like the movie?
It's a long story. Chris Bailey, and I reviewed World War Hulk, and then we fanficked a bunch of Hulk movies.
Nice.
Tomorrow, I loves ya. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a Long Road to Ruin for the first two John Wick movies. And then on Friday, myself, The Last Word, Robert Winfrey, and Mr. Toxic Masculinity, Pat Mullen, will be reviewing the Zac Efron, Ted Bundy movie, Extremely Wicked, something. No.
Did you call Winfrey The Last Word?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking perfect.
Isn't it, though?
Well, how long have you been calling him that? Because I've completely missed it.
It started this past week.
Oh, that's so great.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah, that's his new nickname. He's The Last Word. Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. We're taking a break Saturday, and then Sunday we kick it live with our review of AEW, Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing. Dick. All right, Jesse.
I don't know about all that.
Well.
Oh, wait, hang on. Actually, Robert, you go first.
Hey, yeah, okay. So, go buy some fucking plants from a hardware store. Yeah. Really, just please make my day worse. Come shop at my store. There's this podcast. I'm on it. Besides that,
are you on it? Or are you just guesting today?
No, I plan on being here next week. If I can fucking. Well, yeah, because they finally gave me my fucking schedule right, so it should be good on Wednesday. But I'm not gonna be able to make it every week, but I'm gonna try. Because now I'm just gonna have the girlfriend listen to it, so it's like I was there with her the whole time, anyways.
There you go. Now
and
you're talking.
Loves Weezer. She has a fucking Weezer sticker on the back of her car, and every time I'm like, nice Wonder Woman sticker, just because it annoys her. It tickles the shit out of me every time.
Very good, sir.
But yeah, this podcast, the Sentai Rider podcast, I haven't even talked to my buddy Connor. I haven't even talked to him in fucking a year and a half. So, well.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just long story short. He was cheating on his girlfriend for a year, who was also a good friend of mine. So.
Ooh.
All right, fuck that guy.
Jeez.
It gets a little awkward then. Yeah. I didn't know he liked dudes. So yeah, because he was cheating with a dude.
Oh, right.
On the internet, and the guy lived in Canada. It was great. It's a great story.
Well, cheating's not good, but if he wants to fuck dudes, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't mind about the gayness, but damn.
The gayness?
Yeah.
He's got that gay all over him.
And then I spent my birthday last year breaking her and her boyfriend, her last boyfriend up because we found out he was cheating on her for a year too.
Damn.
And he gave her the clap.
Mm.
Not the clap. Sorry, chlamydia. Gonorrhea is the clap.
These plugs have gone downhill very quickly.
Please
Yeah, I
continue.
mean, all right, but yeah, so there's that. So there's that shit. I want to start writing eventually. Like I do. It's just I got to actually do it. That's the hard part, is actually starting. So hey, maybe sometime in the future I'll write about metal. But until then, I'm just gonna sit here watching Japanese wrestling with a cat on my chest.
Terrific. All right, Jesse, now take us out.
Aha! Ladies and gentlemen, go give the Radulich and Broadcasting Network Facebook page if you'd like to stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. All sorts of great stuff out there. Plenty of content. We talk comics, we talk TV, we talk movies. We're going to be talking wrestling again here pretty soon, so be ready.
Are we?
Yeah, we're going to be doing me, Mark, and Chris Bailey, and Chris Sheehan. It's going to be the four podsmen. Chris Bailey, three-time. Chris Bailey. Yeah.
This one.
What's that?
What are we going to call this podcast?
What are we calling it, Mark?
If it's on TV, it's a TV party. I'm not making like 900 other shows.
You're not.
But yeah, we're going to be talking usually the big four WWE, and then anything else that strikes our fancy if we want to talk about it. So I'm going to be part of that.
Just drag me on it. I'm just saying.
I hear you. So we'll be talking to AEW, like I said. So keep an eye out there, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, I think I'm ready to get the hell out of here. It's time for bed. Mark Radulich, CPAP's a calling, buddy. Get us on that.
The CPAP's calling. Be well, be safe, and behave.
Mark, I miss you.
Sweet dreams.
Sleep with me, Mark Radulich. I'm tickled that I fucking turned your CPAP into vein. I gotta watch that movie again. I forgot that quote.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. 30% of Americans who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.375%. APR 4.65%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rates subject to change. Pay 2.13% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn. Ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn. Tell people to stay off the lawn. Compare it to your neighbor's lawn. And complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.